Let's start simple. You've probably heard the phrase Insha'Allah if you've ever had a Muslim friend, watched a news report about the Middle East, or, let's be real, just scrolled through TikTok. But what does it actually mean? Insha'Allah comes from Arabic, and when you break it down, it's three words, in meaning if, sha'a meaning wills, and Allah meaning God. The translation? If God wills. Or, more loosely, God willing. Think of it as the ultimate asterisk. You make a plan, you say what you hope will happen, and you add Insha'Allah at the end. It's like telling the universe, I'm going to try, but it's not all up to me. No matter how solid your calendar looks, you're acknowledging that some things are just out of your hands. For non-Arabic speakers, the phrase might sound poetic or even mysterious, but for Muslims, it's a part of daily speech. It pops up in casual chats, emails, and even memes. If you had $1 for every time a Muslim said, Insha'Allah, you could probably buy Twitter twice. So next time you hear Insha'Allah, remember, it's not just a phrase, it's a mindset. It frames every plan with hope, humility, and a little bit of cosmic suspense. Now you know what Insha'Allah means, but when do Muslims actually say it? Here's the deal. If you ask a Muslim, are you coming to the party tonight? Don't be surprised if the answer is, Insha'Allah. Making plans for next week's meeting? Insha'Allah. Hoping your soccer team wins? You guessed it. Insha'Allah. The phrase isn't just reserved for big, life-changing events. It's sprinkled throughout daily conversations. Whether it's about traveling, homework, or even what's for dinner, Inshallah shows up. It's how Muslims show respect for the unpredictability of life. In other words, you can plan all you want, but there are no guarantees. Why is this so important? Because it's rooted in humility. Saying Insha'Allah means you recognize your limits. Sure, you'll try your best, but sometimes the universe, or in this case, God, has other plans. It's like the spiritual version of, don't count your chickens before they hatch. So, next time you hear Insha'Allah, see it as a sign of respect. For you, for the plan, and for whatever surprises life throws your way. It's a way to hope for the best, but prepare for anything. Let's go a bit deeper. Insha'Allah is not just about hedging your bets. For Muslims, it's a core part of faith. It's basically a three-word prayer. It means, I want this, but I trust God's plan. In Islam, belief in God's will, what's called Qadr, is huge. It's the idea that everything happens for a reason, even if we don't understand it yet. This level of trust isn't always easy. Imagine studying all night for an exam. You want to ace it, but you still say, Insha'Allah. Why? Because you know there are things you can't control. Maybe you get stuck in traffic, maybe the power goes out. Life is full of curveballs, and Insha'Allah is how Muslims accept that. It's kind of comforting, honestly. Insha'Allah is a reminder that you're not alone, you're doing your part, and God is doing His. Think of it as teamwork. Only your teammate is literally the creator of the universe. No pressure. So, when you hear Insha'Allah, know that it's about hope and trust. It's optimism with a safety net. You're aiming high, but you're grounded too. Let's talk about time. In a lot of Western cultures, time is a straight line. You make a plan, you follow a schedule, and if you're late, well, that's a crime against humanity. In many Arab cultures, though, time is a little flexible. Insha'Allah fits perfectly with this mindset. Promises aren't just about personal commitment, they're about recognizing the limits of what you can actually promise. So when someone says, I'll call you tomorrow, Insha'Allah, they mean it. They really do want to call. But they're also being honest. Maybe something will come up. Maybe it won't be possible. It's a polite, respectful way to keep hope alive without making a hard promise they can't keep. This doesn't mean people don't value punctuality. It just means there's space for life's surprises. Patience is seen as a virtue, and Insha'Allah is a way to practice it. It's not procrastination. It's preparation for the unexpected. So, the next time your friend from Cairo or Casablanca says, Insha'Allah, I'll be there at 7, remember it's a promise with a little built-in patience and a lot of humility. Let's make this real. Picture a family dinner. The mom says, we'll go to the park tomorrow, Insha'Allah. The kids nod, knowing that the plan might change. Rain, errands, who knows? At work, your boss might say, we'll finish the project by Friday, Insha'Allah. In business meetings, contracts can end with a hopeful Insha'Allah, just to remind everyone that success isn't guaranteed. Socially, it's everywhere. You invite a friend to your wedding and they reply, Insha'Allah, I'll come. It's not about dodging the commitment, it's about being honest that life can get in the way. Even politicians use it, sometimes sincerely, sometimes to buy time. We will improve the roads, Insha'Allah. Of course, sometimes the phrase becomes a running joke. Kids ask for a new PlayStation, and parents say, Insha'Allah, which really means, don't get your hopes up, kid. But even in jokes, there's a lesson. Nothing is set in stone. So, Insha'Allah isn't just for prayers or formal speeches. It's in text messages, office emails, memes, and everyday banter. It's the soundtrack of Muslim life, playing in the background of almost every plan. Here's where things get tricky. If you're not familiar with Insha'Allah, you might think it just means maybe. Some non-Arabic speakers hear it and think, so, are you coming or not? That's fair. Sometimes it does sound non-committal, but there's more nuance. Insha'Allah is about honest hope, not just polite uncertainty. In some business settings, this cultural gap can cause real confusion. A Western manager sets a deadline. The Arab colleague says, Insha'Allah, it'll be done. The manager hears maybe. The colleague means, I'll do my best, and I hope nothing stops me. See the difference? It's not about avoiding responsibility, it's about acknowledging reality. Sometimes, people do use Insha'Allah when they want to avoid saying no. Every culture has its polite dodges, right? But most of the time, it's about respect, for the plan, for the other person, and for life's unpredictability. So if you hear Insha'Allah, don't roll your eyes, or assume it's a brush off. Ask for clarification if you need it. Chances are, the person genuinely means it, and is just leaving a little room for fate. Let's wrap this up. Insha'Allah is more than a phrase. It's a philosophy. It's a way of balancing hope and humility. You make plans, you work hard, but you also accept that you can't control everything. That's a lesson anyone, anywhere can relate to. In a world obsessed with control, apps for everything, calendars packed to the minute, Insha'Allah is a breath of fresh air. It reminds us to be flexible, to adjust, to handle change with grace. That's not giving up, that's being real. For non-Muslims, there's a lot to learn from this approach. It's about facing the future with optimism, but also with acceptance. It's about leaving space for surprises, and not beating yourself up when things don't go as planned. So, next time you make a plan, try adding a little Insha'Allah to your mindset. Who knows? You might just find a little more peace, and a lot less stress, along the way.